I'm Devin and I play bass.
I'm Anthony and I play drums.
I'm Jerry and I play guitar.
I am Blake and I play guitar.
I'm Sierra and I sing. And we make VersaEmerge.
It's awesome. I think we worked really hard on it, and so far we've had a pretty awesome response with it. So we're all pretty stoked by that, right?
Oh, Jerry's eating right now. Sorry.
That's the answer to the question. No, it's really awesome. We feel like we put a lot of hard work into it, and it's really nice to see, like, you know, you can only do so much. We like she said, we play them every night, and it's cool to see kids finally like knowing the words and finally like it seemed like they were really feeling it. And I mean, this is awesome how Fuel By finally like help us out with the CD, and hopefully we'll be writing the full length soon, and we'll put that out, and then we'll start touring on that too. And it's been awesome though. I feel like it's kind of like sweat off our shoulders now. Like now we can just enjoy playing the songs and having fun with it, and just see how kids take it.
Just going on tour, kids, you know, that never heard of us come out to the shows to see the other bands that we're opening up for, and then they buy it at the end of the show, you know, and they dig it, and then they come to the next show when we come back. Some kids stand there and just stare at you, and you're like, gosh, they just do not dig this, or it's such a tough crowd. But at the end of the show, you know, the kid that was staring at you like you have two heads is like, I was amazed, man. I want to buy this CD. And, you know, you just got to do your own thing, and kids will either accept it or not.
I think like a lot of kids, you know, don't know how to feel right away with our style, you know. I think it's a lot different than things they may have seen before, and like they don't really necessarily know how to take it in right at first, you know. So it's like being a new band, it's like, you know, we get mixed responses, but it seems like at the end of the night, you know, like kids, you know, seem to like it, you know, generally. So.
A good freeing challenge.
Yeah, it's more so it's still a pressure, I think. But it's one brought on upon, you know, like we bring it upon ourselves to try and, you know, like work hard to bring something new to the table, you know, like, but, you know, like we kind of want to do it different or not do it at all.
I know when I listen to music, you know, it's really difficult. You don't understand a lot, and people don't understand what I'm saying all the time. And if you know something, you know, you're going to rock out to it 10 times harder than, you know. So, I mean, some kids are down there, they're kind of mumbling through it. And then there's some kids down there that are singing every single word. And then they come to me after the show, I'm like, you know all the words. And they're like, yeah, you have it in a blog, so I can actually read it, you know, and not guess it. But we don't have it, like, on our CD. We do, but it's in the back. You might not be able to see it very well. But we just put it up because kids message us and specifically ask, you know, lyrics for this song, lyrics for that song. So we just put them all up. Yeah, I mean, when I listen to music, I listen to the lyrics and I think to myself, like, what are they trying to say? What is it that they're feeling? Like, you figure you relate to it, you know. So I think kids really want to know what you have to say, you know, see if they feel the same way. Huh? Yeah, they're looking for inspiration, exactly. Sometimes I write lyrics and Blake will ask me, because not all of them make much sense. Sometimes he's like, well, what do you mean? And sometimes we just have to come to a happy medium. A lot of it's very open. You can put your own context to it and, you know, however you feel, however you want it to mean. And then some of it is very specific, and that's what it means, and that's what it's saying, you know? And you relate to it or you don't. But for the most part, it's very open.
I think it's really cool how a lot of kids are finally starting to come out to our shows, and like they want to hang out with us, they want to meet us, and it's really awesome to be able to meet different people in different cities every single night. You really like learn a lot about things. Learn a lot about, like, just kind of like teaches you a lot about life, I guess. It really does.
And you always meet different people.
I think we want kids to like basically see us as like, you know, this is, you know, when I used to go out to shows seeing like the new hot band, like back in the day Panic used to open on those tours, and I think that, I mean, maybe it was just subconscious, but I know that when they played that they wanted to make a mark on everyone there, and we hope that we do that with people. And then, you know, after the show, whatever they want to talk about, you know, we're free to talk about, and seeing how they felt about it. It seems like kids are really getting into it and digging it finally. So that just puts a smile on our face alone. We want to be as personable as possible as long as we can. Like, you know, the acoustic performances. I mean, we have been opening the past 2 tours, so not everyone gets to be there, and you know, they tell us the story, and I mean, it's heartbreaking sometimes. So just being able to go out and just give them that extra like acoustic, or that signing that autograph or taking that picture just to try to make their night, you know, it means a lot to us.
We try our hardest because we've all been to shows of our favorite bands and just wanted nothing more than to talk to them or meet with them or feel like we have some type of relationship with them, and just get blown off completely. And I think that's the worst feeling ever. So we all made a pact. We will never, ever treat our fans that way. So after every show, there's always kids there that are, you know, they're sitting there and they're kind of timid. So we walk straight up to them. Hey, you want to talk? Want to chat up? Anthony, we'll be all waiting in the van. Anthony's still out, like, talking to kids, like, forever. And they really like it.
Not talking much in this interview.
That is funny. He's not talking very much. You're hungry, right? But and I think kids really appreciate it, because every day when we get on the MySpace next day, just comments and messages, you were so nice and you treated me so nicely, and like, I really respect you guys, and that's awesome to hear, you know.
It kind of gives us like the upper hand, and you know, having something different, as there's so many bands nowadays that are doing the same thing as each other, you know, and it's kind of just like all blending, and it's like, I think it's really refreshing. Like, that's one of the main things we hear from kids, is that it's refreshing to see us play, and especially, you know, like as an opener, they say, you know, like, it's amazing. They feel like it's just something new, like a new wind, you know, of music. You guys agree? You know, like, that's something that I personally hear a lot from fans, is like, it's good to see something like new brought to the table. We're going to be writing all this year on the road, and then at the end of the year, we're actually going to start working on the full length.
Is it hard to be writing while touring? I don't know. I mean, we don't know. We haven't really gotten to it, so I guess that's a yes.
About writing on the road, we haven't like started writing, but I know that I sit in the back and I write lyrics sometimes to start early on that, and it's kind of scary. I'm like, because you don't want everything to sound like you're on the road. You know what I mean? That's when you ride on the road, you don't want your music to sound like you're on the road. But I think that's gonna be our biggest challenge when it comes to the full length. So if it sounds like you're on the road and we're writing about trees and signs passing by us and whatnot, then we failed.
Not, you know, none of our listeners, or, you know, I mean, most of our listeners have very different lives than we do, and aren't, you know, constantly traveling in a different city every night. And I think like that definitely, you know, sways the way we're going to be writing. So
You have to kind of, when writing stuff, you have to kind of like bring yourself back to when you were a kid. Like, you have to kind of put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Like, when those kids are watching you, you got to remember what you were looking for when you were down there and you get up on stage. Or like with writing music, like, you have to remember what you were listening for when you were checking out a CD for the first time.
Well, I mean, you think about the fans, but you're writing music for yourselves as well, you know, and that's the first thing that comes. So when you write, you have to make sure you feel good about it, and then it's the acceptance of other people, you know? That's what music is.
I think it's kind of like hard to foresee how the songs are going to turn out, you know, and like you can do your best to have like this image or this sound in your head, you know, but it's like, it really, you know, you can't, you know, completely control, you know, what your influences are going to make you do and make you write, you know, like, and it's like, you can only do so much to, you know, like, to just like steer your artistic, you know, like, way. So it's like, so I have no idea, you know, we don't really know what the full length is going to completely sound like, you know, like, I assume it would, you know, sound similar to the EP, but just hopefully better in every way.
De mis pesares, como ese papel volando, detrás de mis pesares, como ese papel volando a todos diles